This video contains spoilers for Ninjago March of the Oni, obviously. The Ninjago Oni trilogy. It's these 3 seasons of Ninjago that people absolutely love. No, wait, it's not. Only 2 of these seasons are loved. Yeah, so the 3rd season, March of the Oni, is considered kind of meh, like not too great. But, yeah, I have a hot take, so if you don't like hot takes, then don't watch this video, because that's essentially all it is. March of the Oni, in my personal opinion, is the 3rd best Ninjago season, literally ever. Out of all 20 seasons, it is the best installment in this entire franchise, other than Possession and Hunted. Okay, I just made everybody mad. Not only for saying this is the 3rd best installment in the show, but also better than Sons of Garmadon. That might have just, made everybody unsubscribe. But please let me say what I want to say about March of the Oni, because it is a really, really good season. And I think that in 4 episodes, it tells this fantastic story from beginning to end, and honestly gets quite emotional. Yeah, this is time for the big, long Morbrix March of the Oni I'm defending March of the Oni in this video. And I'm going to spend a lot of time on just each episode of this season, as there's 4, and there's a lot that happens in this season. So, yeah. Get ready for a really long video. Sit back, relax, grab popcorn, a blanket, or a soda, or whatever you need, because we're diving deep into Ninjago Season 10, March of the Oni. Please consider subscribing. March of the Oni comes right off the heels of a fantastic Ninjago season, Hunted, which in my opinion is the 2nd best Ninjago season ever, and the best Ninjago season with the redesigns, which I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I think it's kind of a mild take. But March of the Oni takes place right after Hunted, or at least a few days after the last scene of the season. So it starts with Lloyd going to the Cryptarian prison cell where Garmadon is being held at, and they talk about how there's a darkness coming, and Lloyd doesn't trust Garmadon, and, he's like, I won't use you to defeat this darkness because you're lying and I don't trust you and I have daddy issues. That's essentially what Lloyd says, but, I'm paraphrasing. So then we cut to the theme song, which, my gosh, is it incredible. Like, this theme song, we need an updated version, like, for the 20th anniversary, because, they already had a special theme song for the 15th. But, oh my gosh, is it such a good theme song, and it just commemorates every Ninjago season. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say, because it's just a really good intro, though I don't know how I feel about it not having words. Like, the whole Oni trilogy has this. And on one hand, I like it because it, emphasizes the darker tone. But on the other hand, I miss the Weekend Whip a little bit. But hey, that's a topic for another video. Though, hopefully a shorter video because, this one's going to be kind of long. Okay, and then we, cut to the ninja. Well, Pixel, Cole, and Zane? Yeah, Zane. And they're stuck in traffic. Fellow parents who are watching, get it? Traffic? Oh my gosh! Ha! Parent joke, adult joke, traffic. LOL. Lol. Okay, so, yeah, that's traffic. And then they're supposed to be at this, thing that they're holding for the ninja, because they saved the city, and they're going to give them something, a present from the mayor, if you will. And it's the Destiny's Bounty. Like, oh my gosh, why does the Destiny's Bounty just get destroyed over and over and over? I think this time it actually means something that they got it back, but still, I'm tired of the Destiny's Bounty getting destroyed. But, yeah, it's really good. And then they're like, where's Jay? And Jay is talking to Kai, because he's trying to propose to Nia, or whatever Yin Yang is proposing, like whatever you call it. But Nia walks in, and then Dara's like, hey, I will look good in a kimono. Okay, yeah, but that joke is really funny, and I said it really idiotically. But then they're like, look at the new mural, which is kind of a weird thing to show halfway through the episode and not at the beginning, because the mural is the theme song. If you have seen these episodes, you know what I mean. But hey, it's okay, and it's a really good scene when they're looking at the mural. But you know, good times in here, because there are these two guys, and you know, they go into Borg Tower and they start looking at, you know, stuff, and then the realm crystal is black, and you know, some clouds might start coming out of it, and some tentacles, and yeah, the cloud starts just spreading across just old Ninjago, turning people to stone and making them, well, gray, because, you know, stone and rocks are gray, and you probably already know this. Yeah. And then the police almost get turned to stone, but the ninjas save them and blast their elemental powers at the, you know, we'll say Oni Cloud, I guess that's what it's called. But the powers don't do anything, and Cole almost doesn't make it, and he says that the tentacle was like the coldest thing he ever felt. I hope he is okay for the rest of the season. Like, I would be so sad if something like this ever happened again in the season. That would make me really sad, and I really hope it doesn't happen. Foreshadowing. Oh yeah, and then they go get Garmadon, and he smiles creepily at the end, and then the episode ends. Also, the music in the credits is really, really good. Yeah, that's episode 1 of March of the Oni. Not a lot happens, but the stuff that does happen is so good. It's a really, really, really good episode, and yeah, I think that this episode deserves a 8.9 out of 10. Okay, so yeah, that episode was incredible, and I'm pretty much done talking about it. I really like all the stuff to do with Jay and Nia, and I think that's a great subplot going across the next few episodes, but it's great in this episode as well. I think the foreshadowing with Cole was done rather well, and it's probably, like, the best part of the season. But hey, we're going to talk about that in episode 3. Oh yeah. Let's talk about one of the main things I wanted to bring up. The suits they wear in this season are so good. Like, not even so good, like, so great. Better than so great. They look fantastic. And while I do prefer the new Legacy suits that they made for 2026, these ones are still fantastic and some of the best ninja suits we've ever seen. Though I do think they are a little lacking on the printing, but hey, it's alright, and just they're pretty dang good. Good? No, I meant great. Sorry. I'm tired of recording. So we're just going to cut it here for the episode 1 talk, and then we'll talk about much more exciting episodes. Okay, well, see you later. Episode 2. I said it dramatically because it sounded cool for the video. Okay, episode 2 is really good. It's like even better than the first one. Yeah, so let's dive deep into this, guys. Some peak content you're about to witness, and I'm about to talk about peak content, so it'll be like double peak content. Oh my gosh, double peak content! Okay, so this episode picks off right where the last one left off, where the ninja now have Garmadon on the Destiny's bounty, and he's causing some problems. Like, most of the ninja are pretty freaked out by this man. He is their arch nemesis, and he's just now their roommate. Yeah, I'd be freaked out too if my arch nemesis was there. Wait, I don't have an arch nemesis. Or do I? You know who you are if you're watching this video. Just kidding. Okay, so he just presses this lever and, like, the entire ship just falls because, it was like turning off the oxygen, or not oxygen, gas, or like engine. What even is the word? Yeah, so Garmadon turns off the engine and they all just start plummeting to their death. And Garmadon knew he was doing this. Like, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill the ninja accidentally right now. And then, Zane fixes it, so hey, it's okay. And that's kind of it for that scene. I always felt like that scene was kind of pointless, though it's the only scene in March of the Oni where I was like, I don't like that. That was kind of stupid, but it's alright. And then Garmadon, they don't want Garmadon to, mess up more stuff, so they asked Lloyd to go babysit him. Sit on him. What? And then Garmadon, and Lloyd talk about pictures. And this is a really nice scene where they're like kind of showing Garmadon what it, means to be alive, if that makes sense. More on that in a second, but yeah. I like seeing all the old ninja designs in, the seasons with new designs. It's so awesome. And I really just like that scene where Garmadon breaks the picture. That's, devastatingly sad. And it honestly kind of makes me a little teary-eyed every time I watch it, so I'm not afraid to say that, guys. Yeah, it's a really, really good scene. And then, Cole compares Nia to a Band-Aid. Jay tries to pop the question with Nia, and it doesn't go well. He just kind of stutters a lot and coughs a lot, and he doesn't really know what to say. And then Garmadon comes in, and Jay screams because he's, scared of Garmadon. Yeah, I would be too. If Garmadon, if I was trying to propose to a lady and Garmadon comes, I would scream too. I'd go like, ah! That would be my scream. And it is my scream, so yeah. That's another scene that happened in this episode. Okay, I don't know how to segue to the next part of the video. Then they start talking about how the ninja might have to go in the darkness to destroy the realm crystal, though none of them can touch the darkness or they'll turn to stone. Except Lloyd, because he's part Oni, and Garmadon, because he's all Oni. Yeah, that's another, idea that I think was handled very well in this season. Lloyd being part Oni is something that wouldn't come up till crystallized, so I like that they, utilize it in the Oni trilogy. I think that was smart. And then Garmadon just asks for a weapon, and they give a weapon to him, and then he just starts attacking the ninja in the super sick action sequence. This action sequence is incredible, top 10 in the entire show. I don't know why I like it so much. It's just seeing Garmadon fight all the ninja like he did in season 1. It's so nice. Except instead of that part in season 1 where Wu puts him on the bounty, it's kind of reversed. It's really nice. It's an epic scene, but Garmadon just fought the ninja because the fight is what fuels him and it gives him his powers back, which, I completely forgot about when I first saw this season, and then I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking was going to happen. You don't want to know. Then Lloyd and Garmadon jump into the darkness, though the other ninja get a distress call from the NGTV news tower, which, my boy Vinny was giving them the distress call. So Samurai X, Pixel, stays back for when Lloyd comes back from the darkness, and then the ninja and the bounty go to the NGTV news tower. Lloyd and Garmadon make it in the darkness, okay, though the signal on Lloyd's, camera that he put on himself so the ninja could see what is inside the darkness goes out, so they can't really track him anymore. But Lloyd sees Cyrus Borg, who has been turned to stone. And Lloyd gets mad at Garmadon because he doesn't want to help Cyrus Borg, because he says that that's not the mission, which, is building up to something later up in the season. But we'll get to that when we talk about the next episode. And then they make it into the room with the realm crystal, but something comes out of the realm crystal, the Omega. So, the Omega's, the main Oni. And a lot of people seem to hate him, as a villain. But I think the Omega's, one of the best Ninjago villains ever. I mean, not better than Morrow and not better than Roz or Garmadon, but he's really close to the best Ninjago villain. I really like him, and his voice especially. It's, just insane. It reminds me of, Glob from Adventure Time, if anybody knows that reference. Adventure Time video soon, I promise. Yeah, it's really, really, a really cool, just villain, and I like this man a lot. Though, to be honest, I kind of forgot that was the end of the episode. So I don't have anything else to say, and now I'm going to wrap up my thoughts about episode 2 of March of the Oni. That episode, in my opinion, is even better than it was when I first saw it, and this is just an incredible 10 out of 10 episode. It is so freaking good. A few things to note, actually, no, okay, it's not 10 out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10, because I really just dislike that scene when they're all falling in the bounty. For some reason, it has always irked me, and I don't know what it is about it. It just makes me mad. And, for no reason, it makes me really mad. Another thing is, I think that the next episode is, even better. So, yeah, a lot of stuff that happens in this episode just gets even better in the next episode. So, that's fantastic. I love that a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this episode. So, yeah, overall score, 9 out of 10. The fight scenes were fantastic. The animation was stellar. And a lot of these scenes are pretty dang sad. So, that's sad. Yeah, really good episode. And now let's talk about the next to last episode of the season. Episode 3 of March of the Oni. Episode 3 picks up right after the last one, and Lloyd and Garmadon are being confronted by the Omega, who is the main Oni, and then they start to get attacked by Oni, and they're blasting through walls in Borg Tower, and it is an awesome scene. But you want to know what they find? They find the, well, I don't know if you remember this from season 3, but they find the Golden Master's armor, which is big. That's such a cool callback. I love that they did that, and they grab it and kind of use it to, use it against the Oni. Though Pixel is waiting to go into the cloud and get them, but, well, she's running out of battery in her suit. You should charge it last night. Is this a lesson about how kids should always charge their phones in case it's an emergency? Hey, I don't like lessons in my TV shows. Ah! Okay, and then it gets kind of crazy. Even more crazy than evil black demons that are really cool, actually, and having black clouds that, kill everybody, but not actually just turn them to stone, that are fighting color-coded ninjas. I explained that pretty dang bad. Lee. Oh, it's a land of Lee. Okay, so then, you know what happens. They go to NGTV News Tower, Kai, Cole, Jay, Zane, and Nia, and they rescue all the people. I mean, Gil Gossip is ticked off, though. And it reveals that she's the main villain of the season. Hey, yo! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, and then, you want to know what happens next? Cole starts to, well, he didn't get on the bounty in time, so he's hanging by the ladder to get onto the bounty, and the line snaps, and he falls into the cloud. And Jay's all like, hang on, Cole. And Kai's all like, and Nia's all like, but, Nia accidentally pulled the wrong lever, so, you just killed Cole, Nia. Okay, that was kind of mean. But this whole sequence is fantastic, and I love it so much. I know this is a fake out death, and I know people dislike it, and I know they reveal he's alive way too soon. But it's still such a fantastic scene, and honestly, this is one of the best scenes in the entire series. It is a fantastic moment, and it still makes me like, oh! Every time it happens, and I absolutely love it. I also like that there's no dialogue in this scene, as they just have it quiet with the da-da-da-da-da over it, and it's so good. It is peak cinema. I'm going to say that a few more times in the video, so get prepared for that. But it is a fantastic moment, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, it is a fantastic scene. And I absolutely adore it. It is, in my own opinion, I think like the 4th best Ninjago scene ever. And it hard carries this episode. Everything in this episode is absolutely fantastic, don't get me wrong. But this is the best scene, just by far. Like, everything is fantastic in this episode, yes. But this scene just hits the hardest and is the best, the most well-paced. It's just peak. It is like, if you want a Ninjago scene that just screams peak, it is this scene. It makes me go, peak! Every time I watch it, and it is so good. I adore the Oni also as like characters. They're very, very cool. So just this episode having, a lot of them was really cool. It is the march of the Oni, so I was assuming they would march, and they do, so yay. Okay, and then let's get back to the plot, because, I kept ranting about that scene, because peak. Okay, I need to take a deep breath. Okay, and then Pixel grabs Lloyd and Garmadon, who, still have the golden armor, but, Pixel should have charged her phone. Samurai X suit, because they run out of batteries and start falling to their death. But Nia's all like, I'm not letting someone die tonight, and, gets them just in time, so it's fantastic. And then the ninja, don't break it slowly to Lloyd. Like, the second they get there, on the bounty, they're just like, Cole fell off. And then Nia's like, it's my fault. And then they're like, it's not your fault. And then Lloyd just kind of is like, what? No! Yeah, me too, Lloyd. Cole, come back to us, Cole. Come back to us! And then, Lloyd is like talking about how, I don't know. Oh yeah, so Garmadon's like, none of this matters because we have the golden armor. And then Lloyd's all like, there's more to life than survival! And then he storms off. And that's a fantastic scene, and I think about it like every day of my life. It is one of the best Ninjago scenes ever. So the emotions are at an all-time high. You want to know how they can top this? Top those last 2 depressing scenes? They add another depressing scene that's, honestly, in my opinion, more sad. Garmadon's kind of, taking a break from his son. Taking a break from his son? What the heck does that mean? So Garmadon taking a break from his son still sounds weird. Even though I've said it twice, it still sounds weird. Okay, so he's just looking at all these pictures, and I wanted to say, it's really cute that they have, like, the old designs right there. I might have already said this in that video. I don't even remember. Did I already say that? My brain is not working because I'm an old man. And then, you want to know what happens next? Vinny comes in, and he's like, "You're Garmadon." And he's like, "I'm kind of tripping that I'm in the same room with you." And Garmadon's all like, "I have a query." And then Vinny's like, "Yeah, fire away." And then he's like, "What possibly could be more important than survival?" And then Vinny's like, "Well, lots of things, like love and harmony and peace and trust, all the things that make life worthwhile." And Garmadon's like, "You may leave, Vinny of NGTV News." And then Vinny walks away because he's like, "That was weird. I really hope Garmadon doesn't come up to me and this becomes a plot-relevant detail in 6 seasons. Crystallized. Yeah, and that's the scene, and I did not mean to, say all the lines, but I did. This scene is incredibly sad, and I love it very much, and it's one of the best scenes in the episode. But this has one of the best scenes in the episode, so maybe the whole episode's peak, ? And, we just had 3 incredibly sad moments. So you want to know how we top this? You want to know how Ninjago was like, "Yeah, we're going to add a 4th incredibly sad moment, yeah!" And it is, okay, this moment's really good. So like, Nia's feeling kind of, sad because she might have just killed Cole. So she's just sad and, is just standing on the edge of the bounty, about to slip off herself like Nia Bobia, please. Why did I call her that? Nia Bobia. Nia, like, you gotta move up. Don't be on the edge of the seat. You might fall off. Oh, was that the plan? Is okay, never mind. And then Kai comes in, and he's like, "It's not your fault, Nia," or something. I don't really remember what they say. And then Nia gets the idea that since they have the golden armor to defeat the Oni, they should reforge the golden weapons. The things from the first 2 seasons of the show. You remember those? Nostalgia! And then, Kai's like, "I was a terrible blacksmith. You used to tell me that all the time." And Nia's like, "You're the elemental master of fire, Kai. If anyone can make these weapons, it would be you." Yeah, I don't really remember what Nia said. And then they're like, they're gonna go and, make the weapons. So they're headed for the monastery now. But then, this episode would not stop being peak. And it's like, you know what? We just had so much amazing stuff in this episode. We even have an amazing title for this episode. It's called The Fall, by the way, if you forgot. You want to know how we're going to end off this absolute banger of an episode? By revealing that the character we said was dead earlier is actually alive. Oh my gosh! And you want to know something even crazier? That this scene hits really hard because it's just playing all the voice clips of what happened when the scene happened. It was like, "Hang on, Cole, I think I got it, Cole." And then it reveals that Cole's there, though he is, knocked out because he fell 500 feet. But yeah, he is alive. He didn't get turned to stone, though tentacles are coming at him, and he is about to get turned to stone. And then, you want to know what happens? The episode ends. It just cuts to the credits. It's really sad. And, it was an insane scene and one of the most sad scenes in Ninjago when he fell. And this is another really sad scene. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on episode 3 of March of the Oni, The Fall. This episode is pretty dang good. I think it was in my top 40 episodes of the entire show, so that's a big compliment because there's 285 episodes of the show. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then to top this episode, we get the next episode, which I'm going to talk about in a second, but I just want to, finish up wrapping up my thoughts on this episode. I wanted to say that I think the music and the lighting and the animation was fantastic in this episode, but it kind of is for all March of the Oni, so you already knew that, you sly doggy. Yeah, this is a fantastic episode, one of the best in the show, and it is just amazing. It is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about episode 4, which is the finale of the season, and was originally meant to be the finale of, all of Ninjago, which I am glad it wasn't the finale of Ninjago, though it would have been an amazing finale. Okay, let's talk about episode 4, March of the Oni, endings. Okay, so the 4th episode starts with showing Cole and what happened to him. He fell through the building. Why wasn't the building affected? Because there's a hole in it for him to fall through. Shut up. He is all like, I can't see anything. And then he makes it to his car with nearly passing out. And then, he just starts going on the road again. And then we cut back to the monastery, showing Kai forging the weapons of creation by melting down the golden armor. He made the Sword of Fire, the Nunchucks of Lightning, the Shurikens of Ice, and the Sai of Quakes. And, Nia takes the Sai of Quakes because Cole's not there. And then the Oni start showing up, and it's about time for the ultimate final battle. Masaru and the other ninjas start gathering people from Ninjago City and evacuating them and putting them inside the monastery while they fight the Oni. And Lloyd's mom is all like, I gotta stay out here with you. And then Lloyd's all like, the people inside need your protection. And then Misako goes inside because we don't want her to ruin this epic final battle. I hate Misako. And then Faith comes out and is like, if the end is near, I will face it on my feet. And then Masaru comes out and he's all like, as will I. And then they get ready to fight the Oni. So, all the ninja get their golden weapons ready and they start fighting the Oni. I personally don't think that the golden weapons was, their smartest idea because it doesn't work too well. But, this is all leading up to the finale, so you gotta be stupid up until the finale of the episode. That's just how TV shows work. They're fighting the Oni, they're getting kind of obliterated. Like, they are not doing good. And then Cole comes up and he's like, hey guys, miss me? And just like, I thought we lost you, you big jerk. And that's the scene. And Cole comes back and it's a really sweet scene and I like it a lot. And then Nia hands him the Sai of Quakes. And then, they're starting to win a little bit more. Then the Omega Oni and Garmadon are fighting. And, as people do, you decide to change your face shape to look like your enemy and also get a walking stick. As people do. And the Omega and him start, duking it out. Like a pow, bang, 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 pow, kablammers. Those are sound effects that I made with my mouth. If you couldn't tell. After a few more epic action scenes, the ninja are pretty much defeated, sadly. And they all have to run back into the monastery, barely closing the doors because the darkness is coming and there's nothing they can do to stop it. And Cole's all like, well, that's not gonna last forever. And then Jay's like, it's time. So then he asked Nia to be his Yang, and this is a really sweet scene and one of my favorite scenes with Jay and Nia together, or Jaya, as us in the Ninjago fandom call them together. And she says yes, and she's and then they're together and they put the yin yang thingy on. But Lloyd spots something on the mural, which, knowing Lloyd, he's very smart, and he sees the tornado of creation. And you see, the Oni are like destructive beings. That's all they do. And Lloyd he thinks the tornado of creation can defeat destruction. Which, was pretty dang smart. So they all come together, and Garmadon is not having this. He's like, I won't do Spinjitzu. I won't help you. And Lloyd says it will only work if all of us do it. And you want to know? Garmadon comes and does it. And this is a great ending to his character arc. Or it would have. And yeah, I prefer this season, what it does with Garmadon over Crystallized, but it's fine. I prefer this season just a lot more over Crystallized. But yeah, they all do it, and then it goes black. And then Lloyd wakes up in a weird grassy plain, and he's just surrounded by flowers, and he sees this big dragon. And then he notices something. There's somebody behind him. It's the first Spinjitzu master. And they get to talking. And the first Spinjitzu master bows and he's like, well done, Lord Montgomery Garmadon. And this is one of my favorite scenes in all of Ninjago. It gets me teary-eyed every time. And it is so good. I just adore this scene. It is a fantastic example of just kind of, I don't know, paying off character arcs. Like, Lloyd has grown a lot in the 10 seasons, and yeah, it shows. And this was just a fantastic scene. One of the best in the entire season. And then the first Spinjitzu master, you want to know what he says? He says that if you come along with me, you'll, enjoy yourself. And you could also stay on Earth being the Green Ninja surrounded with your friends. And Lloyd, he chooses to go with his friends, which this is a really sweet moment. And I think the fact that he, realized there's more he can do in this world, there's more in his life is so sweet. And it's such a good moment. But let's hop back to the monastery because the ninja are all okay except they see Lloyd on the floor and he's not breathing. And I assume this is taking place while he's having this dream/vision with the first Spinjitzu master and his body's kind of not knowing if he's waking up or not. But he finally wakes up and they're all happy and it's a fantastic moment. Garmadon does leave though, and I kind of like how they left his character arc, open. It's not like we're going to talk about Garmadon in 6 seasons and kind of, redo this whole character arc. Oh, wait, yeah, we're doing it again. But hey, it's all right. That's a Crystallized problem. I actually quite like Crystallized, but that's a topic for another video, another hour-long video. And then a lot of old Ninjago characters meet up at the monastery, and they all watch the ninja put their color on the mural. It's a really hard moment to explain, but it's so good and I love it so much. It is absolutely peak. And then the final episode of March of the Oni ends saying the end, but written in Ninjago. Does anybody actually know how to speak Ninjago? Truly? I don't know. I'd be interested if anybody does. But yeah, that's March of the Oni. This episode, in my opinion, is the 3rd best episode in all of Ninjago. It is so good. And while I did explain it pretty badly, it is still fantastic. And I love it so much. There's only 2 episodes I like better. Season 6, episode 10, The Way Back. And Season 5, episode 4, Temple on the Haunted Hill. That is it. Every other episode does not compare to this one. This is such a fantastic episode, and this is just a fantastic season. I'm going to wrap up my thoughts in a second, but I just want to say real quick that I also think the animation and the visuals and the music was all fantastic in this episode, especially the music just sounds so peak in this episode. Okay. So, do you understand now why I think March of the Oni is the 3rd best Ninjago season? Do you get it? I don't know. I don't have much more to say. It's just fantastic. I also feel like this is kind of a new version of the pilot episodes. It's like a pilot episode it's like the pilot episodes, but better, and if it was for the ending, not for the beginning of the show. It is so good. It also just has a lot to do with the pilot episodes, like the tornado of creation, the golden weapons, all that jazz. This season is really good. And I just want to talk about season 11 real quick, because season 11, in my opinion, kind of does a disservice to the season. I quite like season 11. I think the fire chapter and ice chapter are really good and have some pretty good moments and are pretty heartwarming and sad and silly and balance the tone pretty well. But this season, the ninja feel like masters. I like how they feel like, the actual masters in Dragon's Rising, but they feel like they're growing up or have grown up in March of the Oni. And like season 11 just takes their character development and, moves it backwards, which I just don't like, especially after rewatching March of the Oni and season 11 back to back. It just didn't feel right to me. And that's like my big thing to say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It just didn't feel right in season 11. I do like how Dragon's Rising is just like doing well. Oh yeah. Another thing is Dragon's Rising. If Dragon's Rising Season 5 is half as good as March of the Oni, then I think we're in for a treat. Because, yeah, like, if Dragon's Rising Season 5 is half as good as this season, then Dragon's Rising will be, like, amazing. We just need a good ending. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I gotta say. This does remind me of Adventure Time Distant Lands, like 4 essentially TV specials, which I kind of like. Hey, got a few questions. Can somebody subscribe? Please. I want to get to 67 subscribers. I might have already reached it by the time this video comes out. Sorry this video wasn't as long as I had promised. I just didn't have enough to say. It is only 4 episodes, by the way, so sorry, but I didn't have enough to say. But yeah, I guess it's time to move on and focus on another video. Do you guys like these longer videos? Because I kind of do. They're pretty dang hard, but I like to make them. Comment down below what other seasons would you like a 40-minute to an hour-long retrospective on, because I will do that. Yeah, I really, really, really like this season. Really. Really, 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 really. Hey, who wants to hear some bloopers? I do! Yeah, I do. Do you? Do you want? Please stick around. If you've stuck around for this whole video, can you just stick around? Stick around a little longer, because I have some bloopers. You ready? Okay. And then Cole fell in the. And then Cole fell into the. Not into. Why do I? Into the Spider-Verse. Cole fell off of the bounty and dies. Alive but gay. Can't get comfy. Man, I want a soda right now, really badly. I thought this video was gonna be like an hour long, but no, it was only 44 minutes. I failed. I think it's funny that this is as long as an actual Ninjago season, like The Island. A literal YouTube video is as long as an entire Ninjago season. That's insane. Okay, I don't have much else to do. I think the video's done. Yeah. Hey, you know what would be fun? If I try to do the loudest scream I've ever done. Hey guys, expect an hour-long retrospective on Adventure Time soon. It's a really good show. Go watch it.